Didn't see you there. How are you doing, chat? We are going to do this in one take because all I have is my authentic self. I got nothing else to provide to you. I just got me. That's what this channel is about. That's what we're going to channel into the ethos today. Wow, where have I been? You know what, jabroni? I want to say that I've left, but I haven't fully gone. So we're going to sit down today and get right into the facts. I'm hyped. I'm ready to go. So, as you can see, I'm here with my children. We got Pothos to the left of me. And we got the bird of paradise plant outside. These are my kids. And I'm a plant dad first. I became a plant dad this year. The most important thing that I bring up with everybody that's important to me, I bring around that I am a plant father, okay? And I like to hang my hat on that. I like to say what I am, and I am a father first. So we're here with my plants, and it's very uneventful. YouTube drop off views may have just increased with me mentioning that fact. I don't care. Okay, this is my life. This is where I've been. And if you want to know about my life, tune in for the next 40 minutes. Okay. So, because I'm a professional yapper. But yeah, man, it's your boy J-Ro Nice back with another video and different setting. A lot of you have not seen this setting that I'm at. I'm in a undisclosed area, my apartment. But yeah, I really live solo now, man. I got my own spot, I said I haven't done the crib tour because I want to keep it to myself. I want to keep it very private. I want to move in silence. That's why I'm making this video talking about moving in silence, breaking the silence in the video, talking about me moving in silence. Anyways, let me take this grill out. It's easier to talk, even though the grill does keep authenticity. Okay. Your boy has been grinding, man. Your boy has been grinding, and it may be really obvious to a lot of the people that I know personally. If you reach out to me here and there, you would know that I'm out here getting this bag. I'm out here getting the bag, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. We are out here checking off the boxes as far as getting this money. And no college interviews. I know it's painful. It really sucks. But your boy got to get this money, man. I'm just checking the record button real quick. Might not be one take, but just want to make sure we're rolling. Okay, we are here. We're live. Wow. So your boy has been getting the bag, okay? Some speculation going on that I'm not getting the bag, okay? Just because I don't show my bag doesn't mean I'm not getting it, right? But what I want to say here today is that just because something is silent doesn't mean it's not in motion, okay? There's a lot of things that are quiet that don't make noise, and they move, right? You got escalators, right? You got snakes. Tortoises, okay? I don't know how much a tortoise can move over a whole day, but these things move in silence. They are moving, okay? We got snails, right? That's what I want to, phrase myself as, somebody who's operating under the radar, if you will. And so what I mean by that is doing the same things on repeat every day, man. I got a couple of habits, it's not cinematic, it's not fun. That's why I don't make YouTube videos, okay, because it is not fun and I do not have time, okay? This is part of growing up, and I know it sucks, but because you want to see me go out and do the interviews, your boy is moving on to better things, okay? Making my life more eventful. And an eventful life doesn't even need to be the goal, okay? Because I've grown very mentally and philosophically this year, all right? Read a lot of books, hence my new Instagram post and probably the thumbnail of this video, okay? A lot of the mental growth can come from just, getting in the cut, being quiet, getting away. and getting in those books, man. And that's a main thing I want to step on. The main point I want to get to today, bear with me, is reading. You know, reading changed my life because when I was younger, dude, I was not a good student at all. Like, I was always the last to finish a test, even in high school. The most simple, like pop quiz tests or anything like that. I was always having test anxiety or whatever. I'm not gonna label it anxiety, but like I was always the last to finish. I always struggled in school. I always struggled in sports, by the way. I was ass at basketball for like 7 years, right? Second grade to seventh grade. Wow. And or eighth grade, whatever. But you know, these type of experiences you have when you're a younger kid, right, shape the adult that you want to turn into later. Because what I've learned from Jordan Peterson is that you end up saving the child that you were. You know, you try to become the person that would be able to save the younger you. And it doesn't even have to be you being a kid, you know, because say you were at a job where you wish you would have reacted better in a lot of scenarios. You know, you wish you would have brought up safety topics more or some office hierarchy bullshit, you know, and calling it out on the spot. You at your next job or you a year later, you might be able to articulate your words better with the actions you take because of past circumstances going on. Like I tell you what, I think it was this year I started jujitsu, you know, and I got a white belt right now, aiming to get the blue belt this year probably. And man, what it's done for my confidence is crazy because like, not to say I would ever shy away from nothing because, you feel me, I always grew up, feel me, turning down nothing on it. But, you know, it's just like little micro instances, you know, I believe in myself a little bit more. And it sounds corny, but it's true because like adding the main things I added to my life, nothing really changed as far as me like learning every day. Like this year, I just got really consistent with it when like I didn't have to be. So just like my goals and my actions are just like getting 10 pages in a day, reading 10 pages of a book every day, training martial arts, training fitness, you know, working as much as I possibly can, you know, with the two jobs that I have, you know. And I want to say this as well, like any dude out here struggling with money, you know, like struggling in life, if you really just work 60 to 80-hour weeks, that will solve most of the problems in your life, you know, because how long are you going to try to get something right before it starts working, you know? Like, bro, it's going to break through at some point, you know. If you get to a 60-hour week, you are going to feel like you are pushing your circumstances and your problems. You're pushing some sort of solution, you know. You're not going to feel stagnant after doing that, you know. And if you get paid bi-weekly or whatever, you know, it's going to be some weeks where solutions are going to start to come around. You're going to start to fix your issues, you know. And that's the main thing main piece of advice I want to give to guys my age, people younger, is like, bro, if you do not know what you want to do, just work 60 hours, bro. The main person I attribute all of these habits to in my life right now, because I'm 23, you know, 23 like I'm Jordan, super cringy, but the main person I attribute all of this stuff, all of these habits and things I'm bumping into is Kevin Samuels, you know, the late and great Kevin Samuels. I used to listen to Kevin Samuels when he was alive and stuff for the men's self-improvement aspect of things. But the more I go back and hear his advice for like a young man, because that's what I listen to. I don't necessarily listen to the calling out women thing or whatever. It was entertaining at the time, especially where, you know, the phase of the internet was with all this men-hating content and all that. But I'm not even going to start into that. But, you know, that's what he got popular for. The main thing I admired about Kevin Samuels, though, was the self-improvement aspects of things. When you started to hear rules that nobody was saying. Like nobody in the black community was sticking up for these rules you should live by to be a respectable young man. Like you should stuff like something that never goes out of my mind is Kevin Samuel saying, if you are not working 60 hours a week as a man, you are lazy. Like, bro, I never shook that out of my head once he said that. You know what I mean? And like even you could tell, because I think he was like retired or something, but you could tell he actually cared because he would do stuff like like a little men's hygiene, class or whatever on YouTube. And it'd be like 50 minutes of like, if you're not doing this, you're a funky ass man, or I see too many men making this mistake or whatever. Da 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 da. It's like, yeah, these are basics that we should be implementing as young dudes. And my route wasn't necessarily college. I took more of the blue collar route. But with that being said, I try to check every box. And then I notice dudes my age that aren't doing what I think to be now bare minimums, And with that being said, like I changed companies this year, not to get too much into it, but like from a blue collar job to another, but more like technical, like computer, more like a programming kind of job, whatever, which I won't just go into for obvious reasons. But with that being said, right, when I went to the workplace and I just had a mindset of more like, let me take this thing by the horns, let me get really aggressive with this and treat this as a goal and be ambitious about my 9 to 5. Bro, I want to say, that I got in there and did the right thing at the job because I was only there for 4 months until I became a lead. Like, I want to say that I took the more competitive advantage with that job and really just tried to get in there and take it to that, just being ambitious about it. You know what I mean? Just getting in there, doing the most you can do every day just to hit the pillow, right? Tired as hell, you know what I mean? Because my favorite thing in the world is to hit the pillow knowing there's nothing else I can do about my situation. Knowing there's nothing else. I'm trying to check every box as a young dude. And if that means working 60 hours a week, training martial arts, still hitting the gym, and still taking care of my social life and like somewhat of a clean diet and stuff like that, or trying to aim for whole foods and like while still being frugal and stuff, I know there's nothing really else I could do but wait, because 10 years of that is ultimately going to lead to where I'm trying to be at in life. And shout out to First Man, shout out to Chris Sturmy, the other YouTuber, self-improvement guy. I really watched Hamza when I was like 20 in trade school and stuff. But this other guy he used to recommend watching, and he's an author as well, is First Man Chris Sturmy on YouTube. Those kind of self-improvement guys I looked up to because being on self-improvement for like 5 years now, I'm entering more of like a level of like now I've done all the right things. I've done the right habits for a minute, and it just being more of like I want to learn about history. It's weird because things usually relate back to history, but I'm getting into more historical kind of things now. I'm seeing how different habits make men act different ways throughout time and stuff. And so now, like I just posted a picture of all the books I kind of read this year and stuff. And with that being said, like pieces more like Marcus Aurelius, Lucius Seneca, and learning about the Roman Empire and stuff like that, or Alexander the Great. I want to look into that stuff more because it tells me stuff about the past of, past that ambitious men took. One book I'm in the middle of is the Lao Tzu, and that one really talks about balance. It talks about taking the path of nature and the yin and yang of things, and how things kind of ultimately balance out. How certain things will have you really high or really low, and to just keep it constant. And with a lot of things, just don't even compete, and that's what I've done. I just like this year, I've just got out the way, bro. Like I've got out the way, and I could easily say that 2026 is just gonna be a continuation of the same habits. I got to this apartment earlier this year. I want to say like March is when I moved, and it's just been a consistent flow of things. I had to switch job sites, and then I ended up going to like a more chill kind of job from where I was at. I used to be at this microchip center. Went to a different job site, and this one's more chill. The work to me is more understandable and stuff. And so, like I said, I just took that goal of, wanting that lead role, and I'm just working hard at the job. Like when I'm there, it's like when you're there, just work hard, man. Like if you're at a job right now and you hate it or whatever, have you tried being ambitious about it? Getting in there and really seeing, have you asked them what you can do to improve? If you ask them that every week, they're going to look at you differently. If you apply the different tactics every week, you're going to perform differently. You know what I mean? And that's what I want to say I've done, because you get somewhere and 4 months in, you ask what the lead position is, and, I'm not bragging about it, but I was just saying, like, yeah, when you take things by the horns and really get in there and see what you can do, seeing the most you could do. What's the most ambitious thing you could do at the job that day? Like, that's what I've done every day of this year. I've said, I've asked plenty of times, what can we do to improve? What can I improve on here? What can I improve on there? And so my year has honestly just been about, 60-hour weeks, getting my reading in, getting my martial arts, the gym, staying some sort of fly. And with that being, being frugal about it. And then this year, really cleaning up some habits is going to be my main thing, like just investing into the stock market, like consistently. That was one thing I didn't necessarily do this year, like consistently, quote unquote. But next year, I'm going to get that in a headlock for sure. And just investing all my extra money and stuff like that, and still working 2 jobs. And I mean, it's beauty about life setup, because I essentially just got to get better. That's all my life is about, and the people talk about, I'm not going to get into that, but when you're doing all that you can do, it's like, how can you fail? If you list the worst case scenario of where you're at right now, if the continuation of where you're at, and if you don't do anything about it in the next 3 months, see where that'll lead you. Write it on a piece of paper, and then see if you really did everything you could about this situation. If you try to make a goal happen, not to where you would win it, not to where you would just barely get by losing it, but if you made it impossible to fail this goal, like take a scenario of a bug being in the house, right? There wouldn't be in my house, but maybe yours. But if you were to throw a shoe at the bug, would you hit it versus dropping a bomb on the house? Which one would practically, you could not fail at hitting the bug, right? How are you going to do that with your goals? If you got a goal, try to make it, find some way that it will be impossible for you not to make that goal, just obliterate that goal, man. Just do it, If you're trying to save an extra $200 a month and you work 60 hours a week, there's almost no way you can't save 200, man. I'm not making this motivational thing. It's just like, this is how I tried to go about everything this year, and my goal was not fun. My goal was not travel. I did travel. I went to Miami, you know what I'm saying? That was pretty lit. But yeah, I always wanted to go there, and it didn't end up being too much of stuff. But my main goal was to get this bag, move out if I had to, and I had to move out of my last apartment. I had a roommate, and this is like my first time living solo, but I'm enclosed in my own world, which can be dangerous. Don't get too comfortable in, where you're at and stuff. But I mean, it's like, hey, doing all you can, being immersed in knowledge, being immersed in what you can do, going and being, like taking care of your input, what you're hearing every day. Are you listening to authors every day? Are you getting ideas about wealth every day? Are you listening to even the music you listen to? Like, for example, let me check this camera. Like, for example, man, I got to a point. I'm gonna just be straight up honest, man. My job is, I work at like a chemical plant right now, and on the side, bro, I do Uber. I drive people around, and I love it. I love doing Uber because guess what? I get to meet people every night. Every night, I get to meet more people, talk to more people. I'm getting my bag on the side. It's awesome to me. And some people think it's embarrassing, but I have humility to where I don't care. You guys would see me go and do the interviews. You know what that would take to walk up to somebody and be like, "Hey, you want to be in my channel?" Da 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 da. And how do you just approach people? Like, bro, you just gotta stop. Excuse my French, but you gotta stop giving a fuck what people think, man. That's one thing I never cared, bro. I never cared if I looked dumb, like doing the interviews. Oh, y'all corny, da 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 da. Who gets to talk to people? That's the goal when dudes go out anyway. You want to talk to more girls, right? Okay, so what's the difference between you going out to talk to girls, spend your money to go be in this club, and I'm interviewing them outside? That was my goal when I was doing that. That was fun. We're going to talk to 10 girls and we're going to leave. And I got all the interviews. And guess what? I made friends with everybody I interviewed. They either followed me back. They weren't interested in me like that or whatever. It's fine. I don't care. I'm out here having fun creating the content because hopefully it'll get somewhere someday. But I had intention during it. You know what I mean? And what was I saying with that? Yeah, my intention with Uber and stuff like that. Yeah, I get to meet people, but I'm getting my bag. Like, people are meeting me, getting in my bag regardless. You're meeting me in my mode, in the middle of my mode. Like, I am not embarrassed to say that. You know what I mean? Because people say Uber doesn't pay anything either. I beg to differ. If you do Uber, let's say 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., like I do, if you were to do that 5 days a week, you would be getting a fat bag, and it depends who you are and what kind of money you make. But this is an extra outlet you can do, and then some people want to hear about the channel. I had these two dudes watching my interviews, cracking up, dying on their way to the bar. And I was just like, bro, this is hilarious. This is something I created. They're seeing me get in my bag again, and I'm having fun, making money. It was like a triple entendre, whatever you call it. It was like a triple effect, It's like I'm out here getting it while I'm getting it on top of a product of me getting it. You know what I mean? And it's just like people are going to meet you along the way. I tell you what, that's the people you want to meet anyway, because the current book I'm reading, like I showed in the beginning of the video, is The Millionaire Next Door. I'm only 30 pages in, but this is giving me a mindset shift already because I'm already knowing the premise of a lot of the stuff it's saying. It's like, would you rather be, and I'm just spitballing here, bro. I got no script, nothing. I'm just saying where I've been at, you know what I mean? But it's like, would you rather want and need to be around people that gotta pop it, that gotta pop their shit, once they get the bag and all this stuff, these people that buy all this designer and all this stuff, would you want to like graduate status or whatever to enter the room with these people that are famous? This person is famous this way because yada, yada, yada. Or would you actually have a meal, because these people are buying APs and Rolexes and all this stuff. And these people are in debt to perform, playing the game, playing what drip you got on, this and that. They're playing that game to show out and flex. Or would you rather literally be a millionaire submerged around the average people, like that have no clue that the level of which you are actually balling? That's the level I'm trying to be at, because you could move around with no fame, no recognition, still popular amongst people that care about you for the right reasons. Like, that's the reason I'm making this channel, making this video, for people that actually want to check up and all this other stuff. But there is something to be said about this frugality, because when you don't got to show, like, that's something I probably didn't get right when I was like 19 or whatever, when I bought my charger, trying to show out and all that stuff. And, you end up attracting some more materialistic girls and stuff like that. And why not just be the dude wearing the t-shirt, jeans and like some Converse, right? First of all, the whole fit costs you less than $100. Second of all, you're talking to people that will give you the light of day anyway. Third of all, you could flex if you wanted to, And that's my point. It's like, why Why have these people around you that you don't even like? You know, I'm not trying to prove that point because I imagine people of the caliber watching this video already understand that. You know what I mean? But your boy overall is bumping into some good scenarios going on. You know, some things that I've been trying to have in place for a long time, and we only getting started. You know, as you guys might have looked into my, I know people don't care that much, but if you've seen my debt chart that I completed, like I think it was 2 years ago now, my whole goal has been to just put purpose to the number that's on that chart. You know, and I don't want to get into specifics about my bag or let people in a pocket watch or whatever you call it, but it's just like, bro, I've just been aiming to get to that number, you know, and I'm gonna keep aiming to get there. Hopefully I can get there by 25. And you know, I'm rethinking a lot of these plays that I wanted to have in motion, you know, because one thing I learned from Jordan Peterson's book as well is like, who's to say that you were right when you were 18 anyway? You know, I had all these ambitious goals when I was like 19, but it's like, who's to say you were even right then with a lot of these things that I thought was like cement for sure plans, you know, written in concrete. But it's like a lot of things change, not to backtrack on your goals, but it's just like things change. And, you know, you might have to rewrite your goals for the better, you know what I mean? And I've been learning a lot, bro. So, you know, I'm dying to put some things in place. I'm dying to get some things going where I just can't wait to see come into real life, you know? And so we here. I haven't moved states yet and stuff. That's something I was thinking about doing, but yeah, I'm really just focused on that number, man. I'm doing everything I can to get to that number. And that's what my North Star goal has been about. I think goals is kind of a dangerous word because you should have one priority. You know, priorities was not in the English language. Was not in the English language until not too long ago. It's always about, you know, having one thing in your mind. And so that's what I really preached. All the other side things I do, yeah, they break up my schedule and make it a little bit more easy as far as like fitness, martial arts and stuff. But getting in there, right, and not even travel. Like I'm not big on travel this year or even the next year after because I'm 23 right now. So I'm not going to be big on it at 24. I know I'm going to be really focused on hitting my number at 25. And then I feel like I could be worried about that stuff later. You know, if you want to look into that guy First Man's channel, I think his channel is called like 1M right now. But, you know, I am really concerned about my male advantage, you know, and I just know that overall that's how it's going to play out. Like when you are 30 years old, I feel like dudes like me who have a slower process, you know, as far as success and all this stuff, that's when the fruits of my labor come around. So I'm really not worried about flexing, having fun, showing out, none of that stuff when I'm in my 20s because you can just enjoy your life like on the grind, on the process, you know, on your way. Like you don't have to enjoy it with women. You don't have to enjoy it with travel. Like all these conventional things that you hear, you don't have to enjoy it with partying, with drinking and smoking because when you get there, y'all, you're going to be too old to have fun when you're 30s. That's dumb. You know what I mean? Like, that's dumb. You're essentially saying that your life stops when you turn 30, you know? And I'm glad I got a bunch of good advice from the people I have watched and listened to and took notes on and reiterated my game about all these different topics in life because the conventional advice is stupid, you know? A lot of this conventional advice is, excuse me, it's dumb, you know? Just check the camera real quick. Sorry, twin, camera died on us, but I'm gonna wrap this up, man. But you know, I guess 10 minutes didn't record. It's all good. Because for like 10 minutes, I was just getting fired up, bro. Honestly, I think that Celsius is getting to me right now. But you know what? Here's the deal. You have to not lose that childhood whimsical spirit, you know, whatever you got going on. You cannot lose that, you know, because that's why everybody has this depression stuff, man. You know, that's why everybody's sad and doped up and having a drink, having a smoke, all this other stuff, man. You need that whimsical bone in you. You need something that fires you up. You know, you hear me talking about finances and books and getting my life right and escaping the 9 to 5 and all this stuff, all these different like ways of freedom that I'm aiming for. And that's what gets me fired up, you know, thinking about assets potentially happening in my future, thinking about just driving around collecting money from investments, you know, and achieving that American dream to where the assets take over my income and all this other stuff, and just being a business guy and learning about other successful people that have done it. You need that fire under your ass. You know, you need something that fires you up, you know. And at the end of the day, like, this lifestyle that I live could be really depressing to a lot of people where, you know, you got your own crib, you live solo, and there's no fish, there's no pets, there's no girlfriend greeting you when you come in the door, you don't got any kids. You know, this lifestyle could be hard for people, but what you got is what fires you up. You know, what you got is your goals, you know. And if you're a dude living like me, you should treat your goals like your baby, you know. Treat your aim, it sounds sad or whatever, but treat your aim and where you're trying to get to as your North Star. You know, that's all you, and nobody could take that away from you, you know. And just focus on what fires you up. Focus on something exciting, you know. Don't just try to think about the job as something that you want to escape and, you know, you just want to retire so you can sit on the beach somewhere, this and that. Worry about what inspires you, what makes you excited, you know. What can you focus on? What can you worry about that floats your boat? You know, this thing really I've been focused on lately, this experiment that I'm trying on the side, this thing really fires me up, you know, and I'm happy to have this thing that I'm chasing in my life, and I'm happy to have a aim, you know, because, let me check this camera. Because I would work with some dudes sometimes, you know, that would be older, and they would feel lost, you know. They'd be asking me what's up sometimes, because I'm 23 at the time, working with some of these dudes in fast food or even this recent job. You know, they'd ask me, how do you stay fired up, motivated, ready to go? You know, and I'm not like this all the time, definitely not. I got my low moments, I got my slow seasons and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, are you hitting this job? Are you waking up and doing, you know, are you trying to achieve this business feat or this goal with all you got? Is it something that you want to do in the name of hitting a goal? You know, do you got the end goal in sight? You know, don't be one of these people that, don't be a sheep, bro. Don't just go to work and I go to work, pay my bills, and I don't know where my finances are, and and you know, I'm kind of aimlessly just going here, and I wonder why I get sad, because when I get home from the job, I eat fast food and I go straight to my room and watch Netflix or whatever. Do not do that. Do not. Hit the gym. Go join a martial art. Go join a pottery making class. Go hit hot yoga and be the embarrassing dude there that's the only guy there, but, you know, basically gets, you know, socially attacked by all the women there because you're the only guy, but you're new in town. You know, go take that risk. That was a weird example, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, go and be the oddball out, you know. Go and be the dude that's trying something new, or have the courage to go be that white belt in jiu-jitsu. You know, go to a boxing class and get your shit rocked, and then be running around the ring trying to figure out what to do with some Mexican kid that's been training since he's 5 years old, some 16-year-old, you know what I mean? I'll speak from experience, you know what I mean? I wouldn't joke about something like that if I ain't been through it. People know I got the most respect and the most love for these scenarios that I've been in, because at the end of the day, I got to show up like tomorrow. Not tomorrow, tomorrow's New Year's, but I got to show up this weekend and get whooped, you know, by some kid in jiu-jitsu who's been doing it forever, you know, and it's embarrassing and it's fun, and you go out there and you fall on your ass and you figure it out, you know, but that's what fires me up, you know. So you got to find what fires you up, and you got to keep that, because nobody can take that away from you, you know. Don't let any of these people dim your light, you know. You can't do it. You can't, because at the end of the day, all you got is you know. And as far as the frugal stuff and needing to be flashy and the difference between that, look, you shouldn't need this stuff for the people around you. You know, these people around you, they should be genuine enough to tell that you got something in you, because you all do. Everybody watching this video has something in you, you know what I mean? And Don't take that for granted one bit, because all you got is your story, you know, and never forget that. If something happens to me or I'll stop doing YouTube or whatever, the one thing you take away from me is be goddamn genuine, you know, be authentic. Like, I'm about to be authentic checking this camera right now, see if we're still recording. You know what I mean? Because this shit happens. You know, I'm checking the battery on this thing. Video just shut off a couple minutes ago. Be genuine, you know, that's all you got. All you got in this world is your genuine self. You know what I was thinking? This is fucked up. Excuse my language. But if I die, the guilt I want to put on everybody else is to get in shape. You know, my dying wish for everybody else is to think, if you had that thought of getting fit or losing weight or getting jacked or whatever, my permission, you have my permission when I pass away, right? I don't want to put this out there, but you have my permission to go and be the most fit version of yourself that you could ever be, to be the most jacked, lose the most amount of weight you ever have in your life, to get that toned body. You have my permission ultimately to do that, you know? And I just want to put that out there, because I might not make another video for a long time, you know? Just as far as like all the stuff I have going on and stuff, it might be another year, you know, it's sad, but stuff happens, you know, and I do want to make more of these videos, but you just need to keep your fire. Don't let anybody dim your light. I don't care what scenario you are in where people got to hold on you in this way or that way. Look, what you got is yourself, you know, and you can encourage and empower yourself through different avenues of getting fit, you know, getting in these books, trying healthy habits. All these things can encourage you to get better, you know, and it doesn't matter where you're coming from. It doesn't matter what circumstance you're in. You owe it to yourself at the end of the day. You owe it to yourself, whatever situation you're in. You owe it to yourself to do that thing. You know, if you take more time to do it or you take less time or your goal may take longer, hey, guess what? That's okay. You know, slow progress better than no progress. Slow motion better than no motion. You know what I mean? And so, and most of the time, things take time anyway. Things take time anyway. You know, if you're wondering why your plate didn't come out sooner, it's because you got the ribs, lobster, and prime steak. You know, you can't be mad at somebody for getting McDonald's fries earlier than you if that's what you're waiting on. You know what I mean? And so, like I said, just keep that fire and don't ask for permission from nobody, man. You don't need to do that. You don't need to ask permission from nobody. You know, do what you want to do out here. If something you know is going to momentarily drain your bank account and you know it's going to pay off, I'm not a financial advisor at all, but if you know something's going to pay off, hey, man, take that risk, man. If you know a course, whatever course you need to take to up your skills, do it, man. Take the risk. And if it doesn't work out, oh, well, you went and saw what's up. You know, you went and tried the thing at the end of the day. You went and saw if you could do that, if it fires you up or not. You went to go anything. This is my thing, right? And I was thinking this the other day. There's some things that I never regretted buying, ever. And they were expensive, but I did not care. You know, I don't regret paying for martial arts and self-defense classes every month. I do not regret it. I never have. I've never regretted going to a jiu-jitsu class, ever. Not one time, you know. I never regretted buying a book. I never regretted buying any book. Because you see the books I read, you know, some I'm sure you could regret buying, but I never regretted buying a plane ticket, you know, booking that trip. You know, those are just my things, and those are things I want to feed into more in 2026. But the gist of this video, you know, with me being gone and stuff, I would say probably like 2 years now, because I dropped something when I went to Miami, just kind of like a little life update. And I probably definitely try to get these videos for sure every 6 months until I get to a different stage in my life where I want to be dropping consistently. And that's overall, you know, what I'm aiming to get to is just a different phase in my life where I want to be promoting it more. That's why I'm like slow on videos. I'm also very much in the grind phase, definitely in the next 2 years. So you guys just got to bear with me. But just because I'm moving in silence, right, doesn't mean that I'm not out here doing everything I can. You guys see what happens when I take my videos serious as far as just the interviews, you know, or, you know, what happens when I aim for that 100K chart, you know, and getting that done, or getting out of debt. You know, when I put my mind to something, at this point, you could just assume that's already done. It just ain't done yet. You know what I mean? You can consider it done. It just ain't done yet. You dig? I like that. But look, man, if you needed the fire under your ass, you got my permission, because this is all you got. You know, it's all up to you at the end of the day. Whatever you want to do, that's all you got, man. And you don't need permission from nobody. But if you need to hear it from somebody, hey, you heard it from me. Whatever you need to do, whatever you needed to get up and improve, whatever you needed to get up. And if you got that list of hatred of people you want to prove wrong, man, look at that list every day, because those people are betting against you. You know, if you got a list of people you love and you're doing it for, look at that list every day, you know, because these people depend on you. You know what I mean? Or if they do want to see you win, you know, so it's just so many different ways to look at it. And there's so many mindsets I've learned from all these books, and just learning and just going hard all year, you know, and all this humility and learning about a lead role and taking on that sense of leadership throughout my life and stuff. I feel like I'm better equipped to deal and lead people more, you know, and a lot of experiences I've took on in this past year, which hopefully I could go into in later videos and stuff. But all I'm trying to say is, man, whatever fire you need under your ass, bro, go and do it, man. Stop asking, stop running it by yourself and giving excuses when they get there. Do the thing, man. Get up, do the thing. You know, let's make 2016, oh my God. But let's make 2026 the year that you do that, you know. Everybody's talking about having the best 2026. I can't wait. I want to see really how this year turns out. But because I want it to be my best year, because I feel like 2020 through 2025 has just been super weird. But that's what I've been doing, man. Nothing super fun. You know, I did take a trip. That was fun. But other than that, I've been trying to get results. I've been trying to put points on that board, you know. And if you can relate to a video like this, let's do it, man. Let's get up. Let's get this bag. You know, let's get jacked. Let's learn some martial arts and stuff. Let's do what we got to do to just keep going, man. You know, I'm not, at this point of watching my channel, you know I'm not good with wording the motivation at the end of a video like this, whatever. But I'm coming off of being sick and all that too. But it don't matter, man. It don't matter. You know, all you got is yourself. And whatever limiting beliefs you have, stop listening to them. You know, they're not true. We suffer more in our imagination than we do in reality. You know what I mean? So I think my performance is over. I think this camera is tripping, and I don't know if it's still recording or not, but I plan on hitting the mall to get me an outfit for New Year's, okay? Because I'm forced to take these PTO days off. So I've been given some time to reflect, as you can tell. But other than that, man, it's your boy J Real Nice. We not done. We not finished. You know what I'm saying? Stay tuned in even when the channel gets slow. I'm not giving up on YouTube. We still at it. Get that bag. Whatever you need for that fire under your ass, let's get it. J Real Nice 2026. We out.